You need me to cool you down? It's been very hot, hasn't it? Welcome. Thank you for joining me. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found me. If it isn't your first time here, thank you very much for coming back. So my name is Deborah Carr. I write historical fiction in that name. I also write contemporary romance series for Baldwyn Books as Georgina Troy, and I've written some thrillers as Ella Drummond. And I have had no time off for months. I think I probably had a day off several weeks ago. But I have gone between writing one book and then different, like, structural edits, copy and line edits, proofs, whatever, so to the next book. So the week before last, I finished proofs for whichever one it was, my witchy book, coming out in September now. Was October actually, now September. The last couple of weeks I've been working on structural edits for, I've narrowed the 6 pages down to these bits here for Baldwyn Books. I probably have another 3 to 4 days to go with that, because I'm also doing, don't know if you can see this, let me lift it up, a spreadsheet for it to go with it. I'll tell you all about that in a second. And then straight after that, I've got to get immediately back to writing the first draft and doing more research for my second witchy book, which I shouldn't talk about just yet. I already told you last week. So I haven't told you anything about it though, have I? So I've been quite good like that. I mean, I haven't signed a contract for it yet, so I really should be careful what I say. But anyway, that's what I'll be doing next week. I still could be doing these edits next week, but this in particular is getting so sore. I just need them done. So I've gone through all the comments from my editor. I am now reading through it. I actually listen to it, because I find that if you listen to it, I've said this before, you hear things that you think you've seen if you read it. So it's better to listen to it. And the spreadsheet is so for every chapter, it has the lines. I have chapter number, I have the point of view. So in this case, it's like the Callum, the DJ, or Tasha, the PA to the movie star Riley Sharp. And then what happens in that chapter, and then some notes. So for example, chapter 11 of this 4th and final book says Joe the firefighter from book 3 is introduced, and things like that. So it's to help the line editor when she goes through it. Because one thing I consistently struggle with is, when I say a timeline, it's things moving through time. So, for example, in one book I wrote, I think it was a thriller, the main character was pregnant. And I mean, I had my children 30 years ago. So, I was talking to my sister-in-law, one of my sister-in-laws this morning, and she said, it's funny, isn't it? You think you're going to remember these sorts of things forever, like when they got teeth, when they first crawled or walked or whatever. And then you forget, because I suppose you're then dealing with, are they going to school, and what are they doing at school and after school and uni and whatever. So life goes on and you have to go on with it. So with that one, I think she was 6 months pregnant, and the editor said, I think she would be showing by now. Maybe we can actually include this in the book. So I have things like that I'm pulled up on quite a lot. In this case, people, which can happen. So there's one bit where the editor said, these people arrive on the island, like go to a party and leave like that same day or something. Well, to me, that doesn't seem so ridiculous. It depends where they come from, of course. I have flown to London quite a few times for the day, or for lunch even. I've flown to London, met someone for lunch, and I've come back again. I mean, it's not something I do all the time. It's something I've done quite a few times in my life. Lots of people go to London for work for the day, or shopping, or whatever. So it does happen. So I think if you don't live on an island, you probably don't sort of see quite how life is here on the island. And because we're on the island, we need to get off sometimes. So I think maybe it's that. And another comment was, one of the characters introduces another local character to another character. And the editor said something about, surely if they both always lived on the island, they would know each other. And so I initially answered in the comments, there's 103,000 people live here. So not necessarily. I mean, I've had friends who've lived here, I haven't seen for years. Not because I don't want to see them, it's just because we just haven't come across it in years, across each other in years. So, but I just changed what was in the book, because you don't want to sound like you're being, I don't know, sarcastic or something. I don't know. I don't want to appear that. But yes, so it's quite different in some ways for that sort of thing. But I'm getting through edits, but I'm getting very tired with it. And with the heat, because it's been in the mid-30s, low to mid-30s, quite a few days on and off, I've come out here really early, which those of you who follow me for a long time know I'm not a morning person. However, never say never, because since Claudie was diagnosed as type 1 diabetic and I have to inject him every morning at 6:30, I am actually quite enjoying these early mornings. So I will get up at 6:30 and I might go back to bed for like an hour and a half, but generally I think I just come out here because it's really nice and cool in my studio, and I just get on with my work for several hours, because by 10:30 it's airless, even with windows and door open, so it's quite impossible to work in here. I then will work in my house, but at the moment my daughter and her partner are over and all three of us are working from home, so we each need our space for that. So but it's working really well, but it's been I found it really quite tiring. And I think maybe I was again talking to my sister-in-law this morning, saying, because she said her eyes are really sore and, don't know what's wrong with her. And I said, well, it's been very dry. We have had rain actually today, which was nice, and last night. It's been very dry, it's been very hot, and the brightness, I don't know. So yes, we're all a bit exhausted, I think. My daughter bought me these lovely little round gel pad things that you put in the fridge for my eyes, and I put them on yesterday and had to lie down on my bed late afternoon. It was like, oh, this is bliss. And I told my mother, and she said, you couldn't just get a cucumber and cut a slice off, don't you remember? And I'm like, yes, but these don't make my eyes wet. So, and it's my mum's birthday today. She's 85. You'd never know it. She looks about 60, 62. She's quite incredible. She's got more energy than I've ever had. She's got a great sort of joie de vivre. She's very sociable, unlike me, who's very happy being in my little studio all the time. I do come out and I do see people quite a lot, but that's only because I have a massive family and there's always somebody doing something and I don't want to miss out. But I'm not madly sociable. I mean, I love going to writing events and things like that. So it was lovely. I must stop saying you can tell I'm tired. I just want these structural edits done, but they are doing well and the book is much, much better for it. And I look forward to writing first draft again, because to me, my favourite part of writing is writing a first draft. I always think I don't know how to do it, and I do struggle a bit, especially around the 30,000 words mark, but I don't know an author who doesn't struggle at that bit. But yes, that's what I'm looking forward to doing. But I am going to take a few days off in between, because what I haven't shared before now, but I will share it because I've had messages from people, because Jersey is a small place and eventually everybody knows everybody's business. I am currently selling my house. It has been quite a journey. And here in Jersey, I don't know how it works where you are, but houses only go through court on a Friday afternoon. So only after 2:30 on a Friday afternoon. So with one of my previous houses I bought after my divorce, I bought a house and I went to the lawyers because I was going to court for it, rather than just letting the lawyers do it. I was interested in going myself. Went to the lawyers and they said, oh, we don't think it'll probably go through today because we haven't received the keys yet. It did, thankfully, but I was told by one of the removal people I spoke to that between 86 and 92% of sales are delayed by at least 1 to 2 weeks. And you think, really? So also it's really expensive. I mean, to sell my house is a few thousands legally, and then to buy the next one's a few thousands, and then obviously agent's fees. I mean, my agent's been amazing. He has been fabulous, and my mum said he's been very good at managing you. because you can be the most impatient person in the world. And he's been brilliant, to be fair. He has been brilliant. So I'm very happy with that. I will be moving to a new place. I am not taking my studio, so somebody else will be taking over this studio. That makes me sad, but I have lived here now for almost 2 years without my husband, and I find it very, very difficult. When we bought this house, it needed complete renovation. It had, because the lady who lived here with her husband before us was progressively disabled. The house was mostly surrounded by, there was a tiny vegetable patch, but it was mostly surrounded by patios, like one after the other sort of thing, so the lady could be outside and get around. And we removed all those and slowly put the house to grass, because it looked like a house in a car park. There weren't too many trees or anything like that, so it's now a bit of a jungle. Actually, I've got a lot of work to do. But yes, every tree I see, even the paint, even painting inside here, even the little hooks for my pictures, he painted them white so you wouldn't see them if I didn't have a picture hanging from them. So everything reminds me of him, and it's like sort of getting like a sucker punch constantly when you least expect it, because in my head he's just at work. That's probably, you know, not how you think, but that's how I cope. And I don't need the sucker punch continuously through the day, you know, about reality. Probably I love that I live in a fantasy world in my books and probably in my own life a bit too. So yes, so I've tried. It's also too big for me. This is very much a family home. We had 6 children between us, a blended family, and 4 dogs, and now there's me. Well, there's not just me at the moment, because my son is here, has been here for about 9 months, and will be here probably for the next year. My daughter and her partner here for a few months, so I'm not by myself. But at some point all of them will have moved on and will be doing other things, and I spent a year, certainly my first winter here by myself, and it was hellish. I didn't like it at all. So that was, after a lot of thought, that's what I decided to do, and that's what I'm doing. But yes, I was hoping to keep it secret, because regardless of sharing a lot of things online, I'm also extremely private. Writing just to pack and sort through stuff, as you can imagine, after 23 years here, there's a lot of stuff. I have done quite a bit, but I still have an awful lot to do. But at least I have my children and my daughter's lovely partner too, to help me sort stuff and pack stuff. So, and help the dogs settle in at the new place when we move. So that's really nice. I really appreciate that, and that will make it a whole lot easier for me. Also to build memories with them at the new house before they then go off and wherever they're going next. So yeah, that's my thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to be literally a Debbie Downer, but that is what I'm doing. So that's why when I look tired, it isn't just I've gone from book to book to book to book for the last 2-3 years. It's also because I'm going through that, which is exciting but strange and exhausting. I've got some surveyor here in the morning, and of course with 3 dogs, you don't want 3 dogs around with some strange person in the house, because they won't like it. So I've always got to take the dogs out. So there's been a lot of that happening. Anyway, onwards and upwards, it will be fine. But yes, I thought I might as well share that, seeing as people are contacting me now, because they obviously know my business. So yeah. So I hope you have a lovely day. On that note, I better get on, because I do have to do gardening and I have to do cleaning before the surveyor comes in the morning. I hope you have a lovely day. I'm going to get on with my cup of tea. It's the Poppy Sisters today. I don't have a cake because I've literally just eaten a penguin, and before that I had a really lovely brunch. So hope you have a lovely day. Hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I shall chat to you next time.